At least 3 people have been killed as snowstorm Sophia hit southern Greece. The victims were inside a car when the blizzard struck. More than 20 flights have been diverted from southern cities to the capital Athens, leaving hundreds of passengers stranded. Meanwhile, the weather department has warned of heavy snowfall and torrential rains across the country. Thousands of miles away, India too is shivering. The cold wave has intensified in the states of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Parts of more than 7 districts in Himachal recorded sub-zero temperatures.
जो ऊपरी इलाके हैं वहाँ पे टेम्परेचर जो किलोंग है वहाँ पे जहाँ बाकी इलाके थे वहाँ पे -10 डिग्री टेम्परेचर और बहुत सारे इलाके थे जिसमें जो है 0 डिग्री से कम टेम्परेचर जो रिकॉर्ड हुए.
The temperature fell down to -7 degrees Celsius in Jammu and Kashmir's Doda region. The Kashmir Valley has been cut off from the rest of the country as snowfall led to the closure of the Srinagar-Jammu National Highway. The snowfall also affected flight services at the Srinagar airport. The government of India has taken a historic decision today. The Modi government has decided to give reservation in jobs and education to the economically weak people from the general category. It is learned that the reservation will be up to 10%. It will be above the 50% reservation mark that already exists. The decision has been taken at the cabinet level. The Constitution of India will have to be amended for this to take effect. The general category candidates with household income of less than 8 lakh rupees per annum will benefit if this decision becomes a reality. The beneficiaries must also not hold more than 5 acres of land or a house more than 1,000 square feet. Remember, the cabinet decision comes months ahead of the general election in India, a very crucial one for the government. And even though politicians hate to admit it, vote bank politics in India has been practiced for decades now, and caste is the biggest factor in creating vote banks. The Bharatiya Janata Party has often been accused of being anti-Dalit by the opposition parties that rely heavily on Dalit votes. Today's decision must be seen as an attempt to pacify the so-called upper castes and the general category candidates that felt sidelined by the government. Only recently, the BJP's Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh lost the election, and one of the reasons being attributed to his defeat was his comment that reservation will never end, a comment that infuriated the general category. So it does not come as a surprise that the government wants to woo the so-called upper castes, but it will not be easy for the present government or the government that takes shape after this election. The Supreme Court of India has categorically said in the 1992 decision it limited the reservation in India to 50%. Any additional reservation is going to be challenged in a court of law. Well, no love lost between the French citizens and their government. Women in France on Sunday marched in Paris to reclaim the Yellow Vest movement from violent activists, a day after protesters smashed their way into a government ministry. This is a protest that threatens the presidency of Emmanuel Macron. In a change from the violent outbursts that saw buildings and vehicles being set on fire for a month, the women protesters kept it largely peaceful. They waved yellow balloons. They pushed prams. Protests were also seen in the east, central and northwestern part of France. The women sang the national anthem of France as they gathered on the steps of the city's opera house before marching through nearby streets. Their demonstrations came shortly after France's economy minister called for an end to the Yellow Vest unrest. This movement was initially triggered by anger over an increase in fuel taxes. It has since morphed into a campaign against the high cost of living and President Emmanuel Macron's government in general. His government is seen by many as arrogant and obliged to the rich and powerful.
De se le dire. Moi j'ai une petite fille de 8 ans, je travaille. J'ai eu des moments difficiles mais je travaille et je ne peux pas finir mes fins de mois. Pourtant j'ai pas d'égo de luxe, je demande juste à réussir à payer mes factures et manger correctement. Et même ça c'est plus possible aujourd'hui et c'est de pire en pire. Donc il était temps que vraiment les gens s'unissent.
Saturday saw 50,000 protesters turn up on the streets of Paris, and there were clashes where a car and several motorbikes were torched. Police arrested 35 people.